In recent years, people around the world have been surprised by the news that China is reclaiming the desert by releasing 1 million rabbits in this area. Many people do not believe this because they think that more than 9 million rabbits in Australia cannot reclaim the desert, and they have developed into the worst invasive species in Australia. So, how has China fought desertification by raising rabbits? Let's explore with us right now. What is China doing shipping 1 million rabbits into the desert? Desertification is currently posing significant environmental challenges in China, leading to loss of arable land and negative impacts on agriculture and local ecosystems. To address this issue, China has implemented various strategies, including afforestation and sustainable agricultural practices. In recent years, China has embarked on an innovative initiative to combat desertification and promote economic development by raising rabbits in desert areas, especially in the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region. There are more than 1 million rabbits raised by locals in the Kabuki Desert, but this breed of rabbit is called Rex rabbit, so named because their fur resembles that of an otter. This breed of rabbit is mainly raised for its fur. In particular, unlike other breeds of rabbits, the dry and rainy climate in the desert is especially suitable for the growth of rabbits. This also helps the quality of the fur of rabbits raised in the Kabuki Desert to be even higher. According to many studies, rabbit farming in China's deserts has contributed to the economic and social transformation of the region. Farms are increasingly expanding, with closed-loop or free-range farming. Farmers say rabbits reproduce quickly and require relatively little care. Their meat and fur provide valuable products that can increase local farmers' incomes, contributing to poverty alleviation. In Hotan County, Xinjiang, rabbit farming has become a key industry for rural revitalization. A mechanism involving companies, cooperatives, and households has been established. This model benefits thousands of farmers across many districts, allowing them to participate and benefit from rabbit farming. In the process of raising rabbits, farmers also take advantage of local crops and vegetables to provide for rabbits. This helps save on feed costs and avoid wasting agricultural waste. In particular, during the process of raising rabbits, the quality of soil in desert areas has improved significantly. Rabbit manure is rich in organic matter, which can improve soil quality and promote plant growth. Their manure is used to fertilize the soil, which is also the best organic fertilizer to turn deserts into fertile soil, and it is also a high-grade fertilizer for growing mushrooms. In addition, other waste parts after rabbit processing can be used to feed mink, fox, wolf, and other animals. Each of these animals has economic value, further expanding the added value of the rabbit industry chain in Xinjiang. Rabbit farming for desert reclamation is supported and promoted by the Chinese government. There are still many controversial opinions surrounding rabbit farming for desert reclamation, and most people still do not really believe in it. In fact, the Kabuki Desert reclamation is actually closely related to rabbit breeding, but it is not directly raising rabbits in the desert to turn the desert into an oasis. On the contrary, by vigorously developing the rabbit breeding industry, the development of the local economy is improved. Combined with the increase in population, it has provided a great impetus for the reclamation of the desert into an area that can be cultivated and raised. Although this initiative is promising, there are still some major challenges. The desert environment is very harsh, so local farmers need to provide enough food and water for the rabbits in the dry desert environment. Furthermore, uncontrolled rabbit populations can lead to overgrazing and ecological imbalance. Therefore, careful management and constant monitoring are essential to prevent potential negative impacts on the ecosystem. Although, compared with other livestock industries such as pig farming, the rabbit farming industry in China does not account for a large proportion. But it still contributes to the diversity of the livestock industry and provides products such as rabbit meat and rabbit fur for domestic and international markets. In recent years, China has become one of the countries with high rabbit meat production, not only for domestic consumption but also for export. China is one of the main producing countries, exporting rabbit wool to markets such as the US, Japan, and Germany, providing the main raw materials for the production of high-end fashion items.
Recently, American farmers are facing a serious crisis in the poultry industry due to the epidemic. This is considered the most dangerous virus in history for poultry and wild birds around the world. It is causing thousands of American farmers to be on the brink of bankruptcy when millions of chickens are infected. So, what are the consequences of bird flu? And what will American farmers do to face this crisis? Please follow along. Avian flu has swept across the globe in recent years, killing billions of domestic and wild birds. It has had a devastating impact on the U.S. poultry industry. As the world's largest producer of chicken, an outbreak can quickly become a nightmare for any chicken farmer. Since its discovery in 2022, about 158 million birds, including egg-laying hens, have been culled to control the spread of the virus. This has severely affected poultry farmers, leading to a shortage of chicken and turkey meat. Poultry farmers are facing huge financial losses, especially those who rely on egg and poultry production. Starting a chicken farm requires investing in equipment and breeding stock, along with strict disease prevention measures. This has caused farm investment costs to skyrocket. Some farms have had to start from scratch, like a Long Island farm that recently hatched thousands of new chicks after culling nearly 100,000 birds. The worrying thing about this flu is the rapid spread and relatively short incubation period. Flocks of chickens can become infected en masse after coming into contact with an animal carrying the virus, such as a wild bird or bat. There are also many cases where, when a chicken is infected, it will spread rapidly, affecting thousands of chickens. The only way to control avian flu is to destroy all infected poultry that show signs of flu. What's more worrying for American farmers is that the flu isn't limited to poultry. It's also spreading to livestock and domestic dogs and cats. Just poultry farms that are affected. The virus has been detected in dairy cows in several states, including Michigan, Arizona, and California. Infected cows produce lower quality milk, raising concerns about milk supply and safety. Since the first outbreak of bird flu in cattle, the virus has shown no signs of slowing down. The US government has been unable to eradicate the virus from dairy farms, as it has been limited to just a handful of states. At least 875 cattle herds in 16 states have now been reported to be infected with the virus, which has even cattle farmers spooked. More seriously, the spread of bird flu has not been contained, seriously affecting chicken meat prices and egg supply. Over the past 6 months, the US government and the Department of Agriculture have ordered the culling of millions of chickens, leading to a shortage of chicken supplies in the country. This has also led to a severe shortage of eggs. The price of eggs has even increased tenfold, causing a severe consumer crisis. The avian flu outbreak also had a major impact on the US trade economy. Several countries restricted imports of US poultry and dairy, forcing the US to find alternative markets. This resulted in serious financial losses for states that specialize in poultry production. Industries such as poultry feed production in the US have also been significantly affected by this flu epidemic. So, what measures has the US taken to deal with the bird flu epidemic? In response to the outbreak, the US Department of Agriculture has announced a comprehensive plan to combat avian influenza, allocating up to $1 billion in funding. The plan includes $500 million for free biosecurity audits and $400 million to increase compensation for farmers who have to cull chickens. The USDA is also considering the use of vaccines in chickens, although their use is currently not permitted due to potential trade issues. Additionally, to reduce record-high egg prices, the United States will increase egg imports to meet domestic demand. We have just followed the situation of bird flu in the US and the great impact on farmers. How do you feel? Leave your comments below to let us know. Did you know that ostrich skin is currently the most valuable leather in the world, with a value of up to $5,000 a piece? Not only that, ostrich products such as meat, feathers, and eggs also bring significant economic value, contributing billions of dollars to the income of Chinese farmers. Is there any secret behind this success? To decode, let's explore the large-scale ostrich farms in this country of 1 billion people. Ostrich farming began in China in 1998 and has now become a thriving industry, with hundreds of large-scale farms across the country. The most popular ostrich breed in China is the African ostrich, because they are larger in size and lay more eggs. The most prominent is the farm in Sichuan, with an area of more than 3,000 acres, estimated to raise more than 100,000 birds per year, and is considered the ostrich capital of China. Ostriches are large birds with long legs and strong running ability, so when raising them, it is necessary to build spacious and airy cages. Ostrich cages need to be spacious, allowing ostriches to move comfortably, helping to increase the fertilization rate and prevent obesity. The cage floor needs to be clean, always clean of feces and waste. Normally, farmers will add sand, plant grass, and some trees with canopies to create shade. The fence surrounding the cage must be sturdy, ensuring the most effective confinement of ostriches. Ostriches are considered very easy to raise. Their main food is vegetables, fresh green grass, which can be combined with corn flour or nutritious food. Therefore, the cost of raising ostriches is not too high. From 10 to 12 months old, they can be sold. From hatching to 3 months old, ostriches need to be carefully cared for to increase the survival rate. People use specialized incubators for birds under 3 months old, in dry, clean, and airy conditions. After about 4 months of age or more, ostriches begin to mature, weighing about 36 kilograms, and can adapt to many different natural conditions. Female ostriches can reproduce at the age of 24 to 30 months, while male ostriches need 36 months. When they reach breeding age, they will be divided into groups of about 20 to 30 to ensure efficiency, with a ratio of 1 male to 3 females. A female ostrich lays 80 to 120 eggs per year. Some farms also apply artificial insemination to increase reproductive efficiency. The incubation period for ostrich eggs is 42 days, with the temperature adjusted to 36.8 to 42 degrees Celsius. Selling ostrich breeding flocks is also a solution that brings high income to breeders. the ostriches reach a large enough weight, they can be harvested. Ostrich meat is the main product and can be processed into many attractive dishes. An ostrich raised for 12 to 14 months can reach a weight of about 100 kilograms. After removing the skin and bones, about 50 kilograms of lean meat will be obtained. Currently, large-scale modern ostrich meat processing factories have also been built, meeting the needs of large-scale processing. Ostrich meat is popular because it is mainly grass-fed, has no pesticide residues, and sells for about $10 per kilogram. Meanwhile, ostrich eggs are considered to have a soft, delicious, nutritious texture and cost about $20 each. Ostrich leather is a special product with a soft and tough texture, 5 times more durable than cow leather. Therefore, a piece of leather can cost from several $100s to thousands of dollars. Each ostrich can produce 1,000 grams of leather, which can be supplied to the modern automobile industry, electronics, and decoration industries. In addition, ostrich feathers are also very soft and smooth, which is a good material for making clothing accessories. Each ostrich can produce about 1.8 kilograms of feathers, which are used as raw materials for the high-end fashion industry. Ostrich eggshells are thick and hard, have a beautiful shiny color, and can be used for carving and producing handmade decorations at high prices. In addition, ostrich oil is also used as cosmetics and skincare products, anti-aging. Ostrich organs and bones also have certain medicinal value. It can be seen that any product from ostriches can generate income for breeders. With large farms, the ostrich farming industry can create jobs for thousands of local people, contributing to the development of the regional economy. Ostrich farming has created an integrated ostrich farming industry chain from incubation, breeding, slaughtering, processing, etc. Some farms also combine the construction of cultural tourism spots and product sales to attract tourists and maximize income. However, long-term ostrich farming also causes negative impacts on the local environment and ecosystem. Therefore, farmers also need to have a sustainable development plan to protect the natural environment.
Surprised by the white goose farm in South Korea providing tons of meat in a critical situation. These giant white geese with silky feathers are not just kept as pets. They are a major source of meat, contributing significantly to the growing livestock industry in South Korea. Foie gras and roast goose, once a luxury item, have become an important food reserve. So how do these farmers work and why is this livestock industry so important? Find out in today's video. Geese are always considered noisy, especially during the breeding season. Statistics in 2021 showed that the world's goose production reached more than 4 million tons, and with China accounted for 98.76%. However, few people know that South Korea has also large-scale goose farms, providing tons of meat every year. Although not as large as China, South Korea also owns many goose farms with significant output. With its large size and delicious taste, goose meat has become a popular choice for consumers. In the context of tensions between South Korea and North Korea, goose meat can become an important food reserve. It is undeniable that the goose farming industry is bringing positive values to this country. Usually, goose farms will be built next to ponds and lakes to ensure the most suitable living environments. Goose farms are not too complicated. Farmers only need to build a net system around the farming area. In addition, it is possible to build a roof for the geese so they have shelter when it rains, is sunny, or when breeding. Although the species of goose has a rather aggressive personality, they have the habit of following their owners. This is very special, isn't it? In some places, geese are also raised as pets to guard houses. Geese can live up to 50 years and breed for about 5 to 16 years. However, with geese raised for meat, farmers only need to raise them for 8 to 9 weeks, when they reach a weight of about 9 pounds. Typically, peak egg-laying season is in the spring, with most geese laying a clutch of 10 to 15 eggs. Geese can breed naturally or incubated artificially, with an incubation period of about 30 days. Geese like rugged and prefer to live in places with water. Raising geese requires large spaces, fenced pastures, and close to water sources. Some farms use gardens to raise geese, ensuring both shade and ventilation. Despite their thick feathers, geese have poor thermal regulation, so it is necessary to maintain a stable temperature for goslings. If the temperature fluctuates sharply between day and night, the risk of goslings dying is very high, so it is necessary to maintain the temperature between 26 to 32 degrees Celsius. Korean farmers' goose crops are always designed to balance temperature and have good ventilation. When raising geese, flock density is also an important factor. If the density is too high, the goslings will certainly not have enough oxygen to breathe. Therefore, spacious coop and suitable density will reduce the risk of geese dying. Besides, if the flock is too large, the risk of goslings starving to death is entirely possible. Disinfection and humidity control in the goose coop are also carried out regularly. This is the best way to prevent the spread of diseases that can cause mass geese deaths. In particular, goose farms will vaccinate goslings 3 to 5 days after hatching for the most effective disease prevention. Let's take a look at the production process and why white goose meat has become the top choice in Korean cuisine. Goose meat is even more highly valued than chicken or duck. Koreans often use goose meat to prepare some traditional dishes, not only meeting domestic consumption needs. Goose products in Korea are also exported to markets such as Vietnam, Hong Kong and Singapore. In addition to meat, goose eggs are also highly valued for their nutritional value and flavor. In addition to goose meat production, these farms also earn additional income for collecting goose feathers. Goose feathers are light and soft, have good insulation properties, and are very popular. The value of goose feathers can be twice as high as duck feathers. But if the quality is high, the price can increase 10 times. Goose feathers products such as blankets and coats are still sought after by many people. In the context of conflict, food production becomes especially important. Farmers must adopt and find ways to maintain production in difficult situations. Promoting food production and reserves is extremely necessary. The goose farming industry also faces many challenges such as epidemics, climate change and food quality requirements. Farmers are applying modern technology and suitable farming methods to improve efficiency and protect the environment. Despite many difficulties, Korean goose farms are still making positive changes. Innovations in agriculture will help them maintain production and provide food for the people.
Hello everyone following David Farming. You've probably explored some of the largest chicken processing plants in the United States and Brazil on David Farming. These are the largest poultry production markets in the world, but you may be surprised that a small country in Southeast Asia is also on the list of the largest chicken exporting countries. Although the area is not as large as other countries, chicken production in Thailand is considered to be superior. So, is chicken processing and production technology in Thailand as modern as other powers? Let's find out right away! Chicken meat is Thailand's third largest export commodity and one of the country's most important industries. With nearly 2 billion chickens processed each year, generating annual revenues of up to $35 billion, Chicken processing plants in Thailand employ technology and equipment that is as advanced as those in leading European factories. To ensure high-quality chicken meat, each chicken needs to be de-stressed from transportation to slaughter. Because stress can affect meat quality, this step is important to maintain product standards. Inside the processing plant, each chicken is hung on an automated conveyor belt and is usually stunned using electricity or gas to ensure humane handling. After stunning, they are transported to the slaughter area, where highly automated machines handle the process with precision, ensuring product consistency. Human workers handle and remove the chicken's organs, a task that is done with precision to prevent contamination and ensure a clean product. The carcasses are then cleaned using an automated high-pressure water system. Modern facilities in Thailand use advanced sanitation techniques to ensure minimal bacterial contamination. After cleaning the carcass, the chicken is divided into different parts based on market demand. Modern machines can be programmed to cut specific weights and sizes, ensuring that each piece of chicken is cut evenly and meets exact specifications. This is important in export markets where uniformity is strictly controlled. Especially at large chicken processing plants in Thailand, the entire production process is strictly controlled to ensure that it meets international safety standards. The rigorous testing process shows that only high-quality chicken products are brought to the packaging stage. To maintain freshness, most chicken is flash frozen immediately after processing. This technology helps to preserve the texture and flavor of the chicken while extending shelf life without affecting quality. In addition to processing fresh and frozen chicken, many chicken production facilities also package processed chicken products, which means chicken is marinated with spices and packaged before being put on the market. Although these products are not very popular in the European market, in China and Korea, these products are very popular because of their convenience. Every year, Thailand exports hundreds of thousands of tons of chicken meat, earning billions of dollars in revenue. The industry plays an important role in the economy as it provides jobs for thousands of Thais, mainly in the processing and farming industries. Poultry farming is also an important aspect of the country's agricultural economy. High-quality chicken meat products also depend on modern farming. Broiler farming in Thailand focuses on natural selection of breeds that are fast-growing and healthy. Meanwhile, broiler feed has been developed to have nutritional value according to the needs of chickens at different stages of development. The farms are committed to not using growth hormones, along with providing a closed greenhouse environment with air conditioning and temperature control suitable for the development of chickens. In Thailand, the development of the chicken farm system also promotes the value-added cultivation industry, especially corn farms used to produce chicken feed. This helps stabilize the income of local communities. Importantly, chicken farms in Thailand also apply animal welfare standards, which is another standard that reinforces food safety. It is a strict standard that is respected by trading partners around the world. That is why chicken products from Thailand are also trusted by markets in Europe. Did you know that every year, more than 62 million coconuts are harvested for food processing and coconut oil production? Of course, in this industrial process, a large amount of coconut shells will be discharged into the environment, causing problems with environmental pollution and greenhouse effects. Therefore, to limit these problems, local farming communities have taken advantage of coconut shells to produce household products or construction materials. So, how does the journey of each coconut after harvesting until it is processed into carpets? Let's explore with us. Coconuts have been used by humans for centuries as a source of food, drink, and oil, or for cosmetic purposes. Due to high demand, this tree is cultivated or grows naturally in 94 of the 284 countries and territories in the world, of which Vietnam is the 5th country in the world in terms of coconut export output, reaching nearly $1.1 billion in 2024. To date, Vietnamese coconuts have been exported to more than 40 countries in the world. Vietnam not only exports fresh coconuts, but also many products made from coconuts. The most typical are household products made from coconut fiber. Years ago, we could easily see tons of coconut fiber thrown away around processing plants or coconut farms. Unlike other fruit shells, coconut shells can take several years to decompose, so it can cause many environmental problems. To solve this situation and reduce waste, farmers have turned coconut shells into valuable products. A typical example is coconut fiber mats. Making coconut fiber into giant mats is quite popular in Bến Tre province, Vietnam. To create these products, processing factories will collect coconut shells and extract the coconut fiber. This process is usually done by soaking the coconut shells in water to soften them, followed by mechanical processes to separate the fibers from the rest of the coconut shell. Each step requires careful execution, otherwise the coconut fiber will be rough and lead to poor quality final products. The coconut fibers will then be twisted into coconut fiber rope. After having the large coconut fiber rope, people pull the rope to attach it to the frame before weaving it into a mat. Farmers use tools to reinforce the coconut fiber mat, making it stronger and more durable. This step seems simple, but it takes a lot of effort because the coconut fiber mat is quite heavy, so the craftsmen need to work together to get the most effective work. After that, each coconut fiber mat will be rolled up and sold to traders in the area. This is one of the export products from coconut trees in Bến Tre province. Making carpets from coconut fiber contributes to income for family members and many local households. In addition to producing coir mats, farmers in the area also produce a variety of coir products. Products such as egg trays, coir plant pots, and coir mattresses are also produced for consumption. Nowadays, household products made from coconut fiber are being sought after in many areas of the world, and annual production is also increasing. So, do you know why people like them so much? Coconut fiber is elastic and very durable. It also withstands high humidity, so it has very good weather resistance. Therefore, people use coconut fiber mats to cover floors or hallways and walkways to prevent moisture. In addition, coconut fiber is also fireproof, soundproof, heat insulating, and breathable, so it is very popular as an interior finishing material. It also has good anti-static properties, so it attracts less dust. Have you ever seen coir used as a building material? In Vietnam and India, coir mats are used on slopes, riverbanks, and roadsides to prevent soil erosion. They also help stabilize the soil, allowing vegetation to grow while protecting the soil from heavy rainfall. In order to produce such a variety of sustainable products, the structure of coconut fiber is also very different from many other plants. They contain a lot of potassium, a substance commonly found in organic fertilizers, so coconut fiber is produced into many products used in agriculture. Sometimes, coconut fiber is also used directly to grow plants or to raise earthworms or black soldier fly larvae to produce protein-rich feed for poultry. Looking at these lush green fields, no one would think that this was once an aquatic plant that was considered an invasive species in ponds and lakes. In the past, this plant was often discarded by farmers, abandoned to grow crops. However, many Chinese farmers have now become rich from them. So, what kind of plants are these? How do they bring profits? Please join us to explore. Surely many of you confuse this seed with lotus seed, but it is actually called Gorgon seed, which is the seed of the water lily plant. This plant grows strongly in Asia, and it brings great profits to Chinese farmers. In provinces such as Jiangsu, Hubei, and Anhui, Gorgon seed cultivation has become a profitable industry. Farmers plant hundreds of hectares in ponds, lakes, and shallow water areas. The plant is grown all year round, and the seeds are harvested in the fall. Gorgon seed cultivation is a labor-intensive process, with planting, tending, and harvesting all done by hand. Farmers often have to spend the entire day in muddy waters to harvest the Gorgon seeds, which is relatively time-consuming and labor-intensive. You can see, in the green fields, the farmers, mostly local women, are harvesting the Gorgons. They wear waterproof protective clothing during the harvesting process. Each Gorgon is picked by hand and stored in boats or pots floating on the water. When the pots are full, some people will pull the pots to the shore and store them in larger containers to be transported to the processing area. Almost every Gorgon seed growing area in China has processing facilities to produce the highest quality products to serve domestic consumption and export needs. At the processing facility, the Gorgon seeds are separated from the fruit and cleaned, then dried and packaged. This is the most common method for Gorgon seeds to be consumed over a long period of time. It can also be packaged directly as fresh seeds depending on market demand. The production of Gorgon seeds is a labor-intensive industry, requiring many workers for harvesting, shelling, and processing. It can provide significant employment opportunities and labor income for the elderly and women in rural areas. In many areas, farmers also combine vegetable cultivation with fish or rice farming, optimizing land use and improving income by producing a variety of crops, providing a stable source of income for local farmers. In recent years, Gorgon seed cultivation has become a major source of income for many farmers in rural China. As global demand for nutritious foods increases, Gorgon seeds have gained popularity as a natural, nutrient-rich food product, thus boosting their market value. In addition to raw nuts, China has developed various processed Gorgon nut products, including snacks, powders, and extracts, which have diversified its products and increased its income from this nut. Every year, China produces thousands of tons of Gorgon nuts and distributes them throughout the domestic market, while also earning a large profit from exports. Gorgon seeds are increasingly exported in large quantities to Southeast Asian countries, the United States, and Europe, where they are marketed as a healthy snack and ingredient in a variety of dishes. According to many studies, Gorgon seeds are a suitable ingredient for a plant-based diet and are gluten-free, making them popular in Western markets, partly due to the strong trend of veganism in this region. The export of Gorgon seeds also contributes significantly to China's economy, not only increasing farmers' income, but also contributing to the country's overall economy. According to research, what nutrients do Gorgon seeds contain that make the Chinese so fond of them? Gorgon seeds are prized for their high protein, carbohydrate, and mineral content. They are rich in amino acids, calcium, phosphorus, and iron, making them a highly nutritious food source. In traditional medicine, Gorgon seeds are used for their benefits in supporting kidney function, digestive health, and providing energy. They are believed to have properties that help the body manage stress and improve recovery ability. Therefore, the Chinese often use Gorgon seeds in food processing for people with weak bodies or to nourish the elderly, children, and pregnant women. Surely, many of us are familiar with hydroponic farms. However, the farming activity below will surprise you because it is different from other hydroponic farms. Yes, before our eyes is a unique form of farming that has been taking place in rural areas of Bangladesh for decades. Farmers can grow vegetables and even sow seedlings on beds floating on the water's surface. Is this a bed made of soil? And why does it float like that? All will be in this video. Please join us to explore. Bangladesh is a country prone to floods and waterlogging, which inundate 2/3 of its land area every year, most of which is agricultural land. This can lead to food insecurity as agriculture is one of the largest contributors to Bangladesh's GDP. To cope with the climate challenges and ensure food security during the flood season, Bangladeshi farmers have come up with a unique method of growing crops based on a common plant, the water fern. Currently, there are more than 2,000 farming households in the south and southwest of Bangladesh developing agricultural economy from this model. To create floating beds, farmers use layers of plants such as water hyacinth, duckweed, or rice stalks to decompose, forming beds that float on the water surface. They are then mixed with mud and cow dung for the plants to grow. On these beds, farmers grow fruits and vegetables, and crops such as turmeric and ginger are also grown by farmers. At first glance, this farming method seems relatively simple, but in reality, it takes a lot of time and effort, because farmers need to do all the work by themselves without any support from equipment or machinery. Farmers usually collect water hyacinth from wetlands, and the floating beds are built with 3 to 5 layers of water hyacinth, layer by layer, from bottom to top, until the desired height of the bed is reached. After 5 to 7 days, the old beds will become compact due to the decomposition of water hyacinth. After the beds are formed, farmers use layers of mature water hyacinth to form the foundation for the upper surface of the floating beds. The length of each bed is usually 15 to 20 meters, and the width is 1.3 to 1.8 meters, depending on the cultivation areas. After the floating beds are designed, farmers will proceed to plant. Depending on the variety of crops, farmers will directly sow seeds or prepare specialized pots to grow seedlings. Pots are made from decomposed water hyacinth to grow seeds of vegetables, tubers, and fruits. It is locally called tema or mada and is used as a growing environment for seedlings. After the tema develop into seedlings, they are planted on raised beds. During this process, farmers can also apply cow dung or urea fertilizer to help the plants grow best. After planting, farmers still need to continue daily care to ensure the best growth of the plants. If the floating beds dry out, they need to be watered daily to help them grow and develop. Weeds are also removed from the floating beds to limit pests and damage from birds or rats. When the crops reach optimal conditions, farmers harvest them. Crop products such as vegetables and spices are often consumed by farming households. In addition, they sell a large amount of surplus produce at local markets to earn extra money to cover their daily living expenses. Farmers who practice this method say they can earn an average profit of $140 per 100 meters squared of raised beds from crop production. Not only that, it also has many advantages such as low cost and reduced risk from natural disasters. Floating beds use locally available raw materials, so there is no need for expensive initial costs. In particular, water hyacinth is often classified as one of the worst invasive species, and its application in agricultural cultivation not only helps farmers stabilize their economy, but also ensures that the local ecosystem is maintained. Researchers also estimate that floating vegetable production is 10 times higher than growing vegetables on land on the same area. Because this method allows for better control of crops, it also limits some common diseases on crops. Farmers also use very little chemical fertilizers and pesticides, minimizing negative impacts on the environment. Most importantly, it contributes to food security in many disaster-prone states in Bangladesh. When large areas of agricultural land are flooded, this method of farming on floating beds has become the main source of food for people in the region. Perhaps in the future, many places in the world will strongly develop this model to increase crop yields and stabilize livelihoods for communities living in river areas. Did you know that garlic was once shunned by British and American cultures because its pungent smell lingered even after meals? However, by the late 1900s, the United States had emerged as the garlic capital of the world. About 24,000 acres of garlic were grown each year, yielding a total of about 400 million pounds. Large-scale factories and farms were once the pride of their country. So, what happened to the industry? Why did the million-dollar garlic factories close? Join me in today's video to find out the truth. The story of garlic in America begins in the early 1890s, when immigrants from Southern Europe arrived in California's Santa Clara Valley. With fertile soil and a mild climate, garlic quickly became a staple in vegetable gardens. However, it wasn't until early 1929 that commercial garlic cultivation really took off, and the largest garlic farms were born. The garlic industry has emerged as a national phenomenon, bringing in hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue for farmers. California is the largest producer of garlic in the United States, with 90% of the country's garlic grown and processed here. The smell of garlic wafts through the towns, so you can easily recognize this as a large-scale garlic processing area. In the United States, garlic is usually planted in the fall, in carefully plowed and prepared raised beds. The timing of planting is extremely important. Plant early enough so that the soil does not freeze before the root system develops, but late enough that they do not emerge from the ground. According to statistics, there are hundreds of varieties of garlic grown in the United States, but the most common on farms are California early and California late. The garlic cloves will be planted about 1.5 inches deep. On large-scale farms, garlic planting is mainly done with specialized transplanters, which optimizes time and effort. Garlic takes about 9 months to grow and is ready to harvest when 40 to 60% of the leaves turn yellow, usually around mid-July. On some farms, garlic can be harvested by hand, but modern farms today often use automated machinery for greater efficiency. From the field, garlic is cleaned and transported to the processing plant, where sorting and packaging take place. Typically, garlic is sold by the pound, by the vine, or by the bulb. However, dried garlic accounts for about 75% of garlic consumed in the United States, so dried garlic processing plants are becoming more popular. Modern high-capacity machinery ensures that garlic is supplied to both domestic and export markets. One of the largest and most famous garlic producers in the United States is Gilroy, California. It even holds an annual garlic festival to celebrate this valuable crop. And you may not know it, April 19th is that anniversary. While once the garlic capital of the world, the US garlic industry has lost that status. By 1990, Chinese garlic had flooded the US market with about 60 million pounds. This imported garlic was about 4 times cheaper than American garlic, which severely affected the industry. Although the US government raised tariffs to curb the impact of Chinese garlic, many garlic farms closed. Half of California's largest garlic packing plants have disappeared in the past decade. In just a few months, the amount of cheap garlic imported into the United States is nearly equal to the annual production of Christopher Ranch, the largest garlic packing plant in the country. In addition, a shortage of workers has caused garlic farms to shrink. Therefore, their only solution to this problem is to increase wages for workers. This also leads to increased labor costs, affecting profits and decisions to develop farms. All these factors have pushed large-scale garlic farms and factories in the United States into an unprecedented, difficult situation. The garlic industry in the United States is no longer as dominant as it once was. But in this situation, farmers still find a ray of hope. New directions have been implemented to increase profits, as the average American consumes 2.5 pounds of garlic per year. One of the most popular trends today is organic garlic production. With health awareness and changing consumption habits, consumers are increasingly paying attention to the quality and safety of products. Therefore, many farms are also applying organic garlic growing techniques to meet this demand. Therefore, there are special garlic products priced up to $1 per bulb. In addition, increasing modern machinery and equipment and reducing labor are also effective ways to increase productivity and limit costs. Farms are gradually focusing on product quality. It is predicted that garlic production in the United States will continue to increase in the coming years. This is a positive signal for garlic factories to recover and develop in the future. Do you think the US garlic production and processing industry will regain its glory? Please share your opinion in the comments section. Have you ever enjoyed dishes made from Roselle? This name seems very strange to many people, but in fact, it is commonly grown in many areas of the world, typically in China. Unlike many agricultural crops that harvest fruit, the calyx of the Roselle has high commercial value, and it is an important ingredient in the soft drink and confectionery industries. So, today, let's explore Roselle farms with us to learn how to grow and harvest this plant. Roselle is a major commercial crop in China, Sudan, and Thailand, and grows mainly in tropical and subtropical climates around the world. Annual production is about 20,000 tons, providing raw material for other processing plants. Roselle plants are usually planted from seeds around April to May in large areas with plenty of sunlight. Roselle seeds can be sown directly into fertilized holes. Because the plant grows quickly and has a large canopy, the plant should be planted about 2 meters apart to allow room for growth. Watering the plants in the early stages is very important to ensure good growth of the Roselle. Once established, the Roselle plant is drought tolerant and does not need to be watered frequently. In addition, during the care process, organic fertilizers or fertilizers rich in nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium should be added to promote healthy growth of plants and flower calyxes. Regular weeding is needed to remove weeds in the Roselle farm to ensure optimal growing conditions for the plants. Organic methods can be used to manage pests and diseases that reduce plant productivity. Roselle flowers reach maturity for harvest after about 6 to 8 months from planting. Harvesting must be done at the right time to ensure quality and economic benefits. If harvested too early, the underdeveloped sepals will produce small, low quantity and poor quality fruits. On the contrary, if harvested late, the plant will fall over, causing the sepals to mold and the color and quality will be reduced. Mature hibiscus calyxes have beautiful colors, thick flesh, and high yield. Farmers harvest the red fruit immediately after the petals have dried and fallen. On small-scale farms, harvesting is usually done by hand. On large-scale farms, mechanical harvesters can be used to speed up the process. After harvesting the Roselle fruit, farmers need to quickly process it to harvest the fresh calyx. The red calyx needs to be quickly separated from the fruit to get only the calyx. There are many methods of processing Roselle calyx. Farmers need to separate the calyx from the fruit by hand or by machine to get the red calyx only. The calyx can be processed by many different methods, but usually to prolong the storage time, the hibiscus calyx is dried in the sun or dried in a processing facility. Hibiscus farms can produce 1.5 to 2.5 tons of dried calyx per hectare per year. Roselle seeds are also used to extract oil or process into other ingredients. Today, growing Roselle has become an industry that helps millions of farmers in China, India, and Africa improve their lives and stabilize their economies. This plant has become one of the most traded agricultural products in the world because it is easy to grow, easy to cultivate, and rich in nutrients. Dried Roselle can be sold for $1,200 to $3,600 US per ton, sometimes even up to $4,000 US per ton. Hibiscus flowers are currently used in many fields as the main raw material in the food, pharmaceutical, and healthcare industries. According to research, red hibiscus calyxes are high in vitamin C. They have a pleasant sweet and sour taste, which goes well with salads, jams, syrups, fruit teas, and wines. They are often found in stores, preserved in syrup or liquid, as a garnish and flavoring additive for cocktails, white wine, or champagne. The seeds can be roasted and ground into a powder. The young leaves can be steamed or fried. They are also called red sorrel. In traditional Chinese medicine, hibiscus flowers are also used as medicine. It is cool, sour, and has the effect of reducing cough, often used to support lowering blood pressure. In addition, hibiscus flowers are rich in vitamin C and isoflavones, so they have good antioxidant effects, can help the body eliminate free radicals, thereby having a beautifying effect. Have you ever thought that something that was once considered waste could become a billion-dollar industry? It sounds unbelievable, right? But in reality, thousands of farmers have escaped poverty thanks to Luffa, typically Chinese farmers. In the past, Luffa was often used by farmers as organic fertilizer for crops, but now it has become a valuable export item. Today, let's explore how Chinese farmers get rich from Luffa. Luffa farms are commonly grown in the southern provinces of China due to their suitable climate and temperature. However, large-scale farms are mainly concentrated in Guangdong, Guangxi, and Hunan provinces, covering tens of thousands of acres. The most typical is the cooperative in Guigang town, Guangxi, which has more than 10,000 acres dedicated to growing Luffa, with an annual output value of up to 130 million yuan, about 18 million US dollars. Farmers in the town said that growing Luffa has helped them earn an additional income of up to 60,000 yuan, about 8,000 US dollars per year. In Guigang town, a squash industry has even been established, making thousands of farmers in the town rich. So, how do Chinese farmers cultivate thousands of acres of squash? Luffa is grown from seeds. Farmers harvest Luffa seeds from high-quality seedlings, then sow the seeds in specialized nursery trays to wait for them to germinate. After the Luffa plants develop about 2 to 3 leaves, they will be moved to the farm for planting. Luffa plants can withstand heat, but cannot withstand waterlogging, so the planting area needs to be well drained. Although Luffa can easily adapt and grow in different conditions, care is still necessary. After about 35 to 40 days of planting, Luffa will produce fruit and farmers will harvest. However, to harvest Luffa fiber, farmers need to harvest about 30 days later, so that the Luffa fruit can develop further to form Luffa fiber. Luffa is grown from seeds. Farmers harvest Luffa seeds from high-quality seedlings, then sow the seeds in specialized nursery trays to wait for them to germinate. After the Luffa plants develop about 2 to 3 leaves, they will be moved to the farm for planting. Luffa plants can withstand heat but cannot withstand waterlogging, so the planting area needs to be well drained. Although Luffa can easily adapt and grow in different conditions, care is still necessary. After about 35 to 40 days of planting, Luffa will produce fruit and farmers will harvest. However, to harvest Luffa fiber, farmers need to harvest about 30 days later, so that the Luffa fruit can develop further to form Luffa fiber. Farmers can also harvest young Luffa fruits for cooking. In Chinese cuisine, Luffa is consumed as a vegetable because of its mild flavor and high nutritional value, as it contains many vitamins and minerals. Mature Luffas are harvested when they turn brown or yellow, and although they are large, they are very light because they have lost their water content and the flesh has turned fibrous. After harvesting, they are dried completely, peeled, and the seeds removed, leaving behind a fibrous web-like substance that forms a natural sponge. In the past, Luffas were not very popular in people's lives because they were considered useless. However, Chinese farmers have now created Luffas into specialized products for daily life. Therefore, Luffa processing facilities have been built to produce products such as shoe soles, bath brushes, etc. Some farmers are innovating with Luffa by producing a variety of items, from Luffa crafts to home goods like rugs, slippers, and even Luffa fabrics. These products are sold in niche markets or through e-commerce platforms. Some companies are experimenting with Luffa as an eco-friendly material for packaging fragile items or as insulation. Its fibrous structure provides cushioning, and its biodegradability fits in with sustainability goals. In the past, Luffas were not very popular in people's lives because they were considered useless. However, Chinese farmers have now created Luffas into specialized products for daily life. Therefore, Luffa processing facilities have been built to produce products such as shoe soles, bath brushes, etc. Some farmers are innovating with Luffa by producing a variety of items, from Luffa crafts to home goods like rugs, slippers, and even Luffa fabrics. These products are sold in niche markets or through e-commerce platforms. Some companies are experimenting with Luffa as an eco-friendly material for packaging fragile items or as insulation. Its fibrous structure provides cushioning, and its biodegradability fits in with sustainability goals. The products not only serve domestic consumption needs, but also expand export markets. Chinese farmers are tapping into international markets, especially in areas where there is a high demand for natural biodegradable products. Europe, the United States, and parts of Asia import Luffa products from China, opening up a steady source of revenue for farmers. Every year, China exports millions of Luffa products to the US and Europe, where they are very popular because they are natural products that are not only safe for users, but also sustainable and environmentally friendly. Farmers do not let any part of the Luffa material go to waste. The remaining Luffa fiber or discarded fiber can be composted to improve soil health, add organic matter, and help retain moisture. In some areas, Luffa seeds and pulp are used as animal feed, especially livestock, to supplement nutrients in the diet of livestock, ensuring their comprehensive nutrition for growth. Farmers do not let any part of the Luffa material go to waste. The remaining Luffa fiber or discarded fiber can be composted to improve soil health, add organic matter, and help retain moisture. In some areas, Luffa seeds and pulp are used as animal feed, especially livestock, to supplement nutrients in the diet of livestock, ensuring their comprehensive nutrition for growth.